With The Passenger, I wanted to write a story about ancient black history, long before the last 500 years we often talk about. To do that, I wrote the novel as both historical fiction and science fiction. Afterwards came the research of ancient black history, because I wanted to have the main character transport through time, over her previous lives, through actual historical moments in ancient Africa. All of this occurs as she contemplates her current life, mortality, and the true intentions of the mysterious legless man she encountered in the woods who acts as her guide. Writing The Passenger took a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun because it's the first novel I've written in the genre of speculative fiction. A man finds the mother who abandoned him as a child and learns the truth behind why she left. In 1976, a night on the town for a group of black gay friends takes an unfortunate turn. Tragedy strikes a marriage, leaving the couple to look at what happens to love when life goes wrong. The summer of 1963 was a milestone in the civil rights movement. Just as it is for a boy growing up black and gay, life in the magazines and on TV is alluring, but at what cost for a black woman and her twin brother? These are just some of the stories in Gather the Bones. Gather the Bones is a collection of short stories I've written over the years. Stories that come to me as I walk through life, and as life walks through me. They are stories with themes on negotiating identity and privilege, family and trust, aging, race and sexuality, confronting one's own humanity in the face of adversity, and more. Ella Pruitt was a story I didn't have in mind. It was a story that was supposed to have been about the son and father, but it became a story about the mother. She spoke very clearly, letting me know the story was about her, and that's when Ella's story unfolded. From her childhood, becoming pregnant at 13, becoming involved in a murder while trying to hold on to her 18-year-old boyfriend, and being haunted by the murder years later when she is married to a prominent minister. Ella Pruitt covers 4 decades. It's a story that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't let Ella's character live. You must let your characters live and listen to them, because they can tell you so much more than what you may have in mind. I wanted to write a story that showed the growth of 2 black gay men as they matured from teens during the 1970s to middle age in the late 1990s, with both men moving along 2 distinct paths in life. At the time I started the series in the mid-1980s, I'd never read a black gay novel that followed such a journey. Over 3 novels, This Place of Men, People Like Us, and Leaving Gomorrah, I take readers on that journey. With A River Runs Beneath Us, I wanted to have black Tofauti elders, Swahili for distinctive, which I use for LGBTQ or queer, who were born before 1960, leave their stories through interviews, memoirs, fiction, poetry, and essays. I want those elders on record because they are often overlooked, but played an important role in history. They lived through times that were especially hostile to their sexuality and race. Still, they thrived, as they show us from the 1930s in the case of the oldest person in the book, and throughout the decades. In 1998, my boyfriend wanted to come out to his family and friends. A Letter to a Friend is the letter I wrote to prepare him for what he could expect. The letter challenges the worn tropes used against homosexuality. It also goes on to cover religion, faith, and spirituality. What began as a personal letter morphed into a book. It's a letter my then boyfriend, now my spouse, has kept all those years.